Two.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, thank you so much for being here. I am so blessed to be able to call this beautiful woman my soul sister. And I'm so excited to have her on today to just share a little bit about who she is, where she's at, and how we kind of met and how we fit together. So it's, with great pleasure, I introduce my beautiful friend, Alena. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi. I'm so happy and grateful to be here with you and do this with you. And yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting. I love doing this type of thing. I love being able to work with my soul family. And through what I've
Yes.
been doing, that's how I met as well, V. And we connected straight away and just became not just friends, but sisters on a really family soul level. So it's beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for saying yes and carving out time in your day. I know that you're a busy mum. So tell us a little bit about who you are and, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Italian and Croatian born. I've been in Australia. This year is going to be 18 years. I'm turning 18, baby. And I
Wow.
came here with, I know. Seems crazy when I say that. And I came to Australia with, just one luggage and full of dreams to create a better life for me and for the future. And things did not exactly go the way I planned it, but I'm still here 18 years later. And in the last 9 years, I've been a single mom, and I've been homeschooling since Adrian finished first grade. And so that's my main job. It's being a full-time mom and
Yes.
homeschooling my son.
How
And
beautiful.
as yeah, but when I became a single mom as well, there was a lot of pain. There was so much pain. And look, I had many pivotal moments in my life, but especially when Adrian was later after I split, I thought there must be something better. There must be a better way to live this life. There must be better opportunity. Surely,
Yeah.
I didn't come here just to suffer. I came here to do
Mm-hmm.
something better and to live my life. And especially, I, I had a really difficult childhood and growing up, and I went through a lot of abuse and traumas and all sorts of things, and poverty and homelessness. And I really wanted to give better choices for my child, because look, I know that he's gonna go through challenges, but I really wanted to give him better challenges, challenges different from the ones that I had to go through, and better
Yeah.
choices,
Absolutely.
especially better
Yeah.
choices. And so this journey of evolving and learning started for me. And I did so much personal development. I've had so many businesses. At one point I had 11 businesses with jobs, extra jobs and gigs and
Wow.
homeschooling. Yeah, it was crazy. And like a lot of people, I threw myself into the hustle and bustle, right? And even though, yes, I was doing a lot of personal development, I find that a lot of things are very men focused, and there is the
Mm.
do, go, 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 which is great to a certain point, right?
Mm.
But
Yeah.
in the last two, yeah, in the last 2 years, I found that I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be chasing. I don't want to be hustling, like, to a
Mm.
level, right? But I don't want to be chasing. I want things to come to me. Like even now,
Mm.
I'm creating extra businesses. So I've got two online businesses, and I'm creating more on the ground, like more type of traditional, and so, because I do believe in multiple sources of income, and COVID, the pandemic, has showed us that if you got just one source of income, you can't really get by, because anything
No,
can come and take that away from us. But at
absolutely.
the same time, doing too much like I was doing also led to burned out and not being able to properly focus. And so I was looking for, and as well with all the MLM and different businesses that I've been in, I kept really getting disappointed from the culture, from the people. from the products company that started and then fell off, and all sorts of things.
Mm.
And yeah, so this is where I've been at, but I've always wanted to create freedom, to leave a legacy, to leave this world better than I found it, especially for our future
Mm.
generation. And I do feel like we all came here for a purpose, and it's definitely not to play small. It's to,
Hell
for
no.
me, it is about living life fully. Because otherwise,
Absolutely.
what did we come here if we're not living life fully and at our best, and being happy, and enjoying and sharing and creating communities. So is that enough? Do you want more?
No, that's perfect. I suppose that leads, I mean, you're like the ultimate multitasker, which I love. You're so soul embodied. When did you first realize that there was something more? Tell me about how that sort of happened.
Right. So actually, from childhood, like when I was a little kid, I'm talking
Mm.
even from age 2, I
Okay.
remember, like really, I remember. And that's when I had as well my first out of body experience, but I didn't realize that happened till way later in my when I was an adult. But yeah, just
Wow.
looking at the way people were living as a child, to me felt weird. It felt like this does not make sense. Like, obviously, I could not have explained that in words, but I remember the feeling, and I was like, this does not make sense. And even growing up, it just did not make sense anything. Like why people behave the way they do, why there is so much anger, why there is so much stress. Like nothing
Mm.
made sense. But then I got along, as a teenager, actually, because I am very spiritual, and the connection that I was born with is extraordinary. And I was getting lots of visions and things happening. And because that
Wow.
did not match with my outer reality, I closed everything down. I blocked it because I was scared shitless, pardon my French, because the two worlds did not, my inner and outer did not match. And so I've tried to be normal. I
Mm.
tried to be
What
normal,
is
and
normal?
that was highly, like trying to fit in society, having a family, having a secure job, having, building a house, because I built a house as well here in Australia. And living that type of thing, like, um but yeah, the more I've tried to fit in societal norm, the more actually was detrimental for me. I lost myself. I got really
Mm.
tired and so depressed, like
Of
terrible.
course.
And then yeah, when I split with Adrian's dad, that's when my bigger journey started. And the one thing that that's it. Now I don't have anyone holding me back, because that was a bit of a problem, because I tried many things while I was with Adrian's dad, but he didn't want to grow. And so that was this blockage constantly. And so there was a lot of inner work that I had to do, for sure. That is part of everything. And um, and so yeah, there's been multiple, as I say, times where the pain was so strong that was like, that's it, look, I need to find something else. And Australia is such an incredible country. Like we are so blessed,
Mm.
because
Aren't we
in
just?
Europe, I had I had no idea of the opportunity that you can have. Like we don't get taught this, that you either go to school or you work for someone or you start a business. That's it. There are no other options. But
Wow.
here in Australia, I was shown, like, you can really make anything happen if you just put effort in, and you are willing to look within and work it out and face
Oh,
the
beautiful.
stuff that is uncomfortable.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think, knowing you personally, I know how strong and how much strength you've acquired through even me knowing you. It's been really wonderful to see you show up in your business and show up in your authentic self, despite all the societal norms that are telling us to do things differently, right? And I think that's why we connect so well. So tell me, with your with having said all of that and your beautiful history, thank you so much for being vulnerable to share that with us today. That's very
Oh,
special. to be receiving such a beautiful synopsis of your journey. Tell me, how long ago did you first discover the power of Enagic and that business model, and why did you decide to join? What was the carrot, or what was the reasons that drew you to that from your spiritual sense as well? I imagine that was a full experience in itself. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I actually came across Enagic from multiple people. Like, many people have tried to get me into Enagic. I think the first time would have been about 5 years ago. Now, my mentality was still in a broke mentality, even though I did a lot of work by that stage, because I was already 5 years really working on myself. There was still that thing that, who's gonna buy this? This is way too expensive. Like, I'm struggling to sell products that are 30 to $100. How I'm gonna sell something that is like $6.5 grand? Well, at the time it was 5.5, right?
Yeah.
And so that was for me a massive blockage. And I just looked at it, but yeah, did not really do anything about it. And it wasn't until about 3 years ago when I met Tanya, and I was doing a BNI. So for who doesn't know, BNI is Business Network International, and it's a lot of business people that get together and we find business for each other. So we support each other, right? And at the time I was actually with another MLM that was doing electricity and bills and stuff like that, which I thought services is great, better than products, right? And my son, since he was born, he had really bad eczema, and to the point of his skin bleeding up to at one point he had like 80% of his skin was bleeding. Like, it was really bad. And the medical system either gave creams with the testosterone, progesterone stuff, which would make it go, but it was not a cure. It was just Band-Aid pretty much. And
exactly.
then I did courses, and we were suggested to bleach the kids, bathe the kids in bleach. And that doesn't sound right.
No.
And so I spoke with, and Tanya spoke to me about the power of the water. And still, at that time, I did not have the money. I could not afford that machine, or that was my feeling. Like, I can't afford this. That was where I was still stuck at. And beautiful Tanya, she said, "Look, I'm going on a holiday for a couple of weeks. Would you be willing to come and cat sit?" Because she doesn't have kids, but her cat is like a baby. Yeah, right? And she's like, "And while you're here, you can bathe your son in the water," because she got the shower system, and so she got a bath as well. "You can drink the water and follow the protocol and just see how it works." And not kidding you, within 2 weeks, by the way, we can't make any medical claims. This is just my personal story. So,
of course,
always do your research. But within 2
everyone
weeks,
is different.
following the protocol. So, as I say, we're not making any medical claims. This is just my story. But within 2 weeks, the problem went, and we have not had any more issues. Actually, I'm lying, because now for 9 months we were without the water in Tazi, and so it did have some issues. But as soon as we use the water and we bathe in the water, it has made an incredible difference. And so that was my thing. For me, I saw the results in Adrian's life, and then drinking as well the water myself. Well, I haven't seen myself as much a result when I started drinking it, but I've seen the result when I don't drink it. Because as soon as I stop drinking it, my skin dries, I feel dehydrated, I need to drink way more water. And actually, funny enough, my housemate as well, he's been drinking it now for a couple of months, and he's very healthy. He's almost in his 60. So he said, I haven't felt much difference, but he's seen the difference in his dog. So his dog, who is 11, and she's got lots of muscles and bone issue and arthritis, like he said, she's walking way better, she's springing, massive difference. So there you go.
That's incredible.
And that's how I got started. Yeah, but that's how I got started. And to anyone that think as well that money could be an issue, I started with an Anespa. because showering Adrian in it for me was more important. And also,
Mhm.
you need to know that in this business, we're not allowed to sell the water. So, beautiful Tanya, for 2 years, gave me the water for free because I could not
Wow.
buy the machine, right? But
Mhm.
I bought the Nespa, so Adrian could, so we could shower in it,
Mhm.
and that made a massive difference. And by the way, even though yes, look, I'm very open with the pricing. You know, it is over 3 grand for the Nespa, but we do have payment methods that you can pay as little as $70 a fortnight, which is affordable,
So
right?
affordable.
Like
Yeah.
it's think about how much you're spending for coffee in just 1 week. It's
Or
something
how
that
much
made a
people
massive
spend
difference
on
in your
bottled
life.
water.
On bottled water as well. Bottled
Mm.
water, coffee, like anything. And to me, you know, it really matter living a better life and having a better lifestyle. And as I say, I've tried it, it works. So, you know, and then that's how slowly I progressed. And last year, then I managed to buy the K8 as well,
Mhm.
and which again has made a massive difference for my life.
So
So that's how I got started.
yeah, right. So you obviously have your own team and you've progressed in the business. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Right. Okay. Um, so I want to start with when I started Enagic 2 years ago, I was completely burned out, right? I
Mm.
had multiple, as I say, I went from 11 online businesses to one, right? And I had
Wow.
crypto and things. And yeah, I did a lot of crypto, lost a lot of money. I made money, but I lost a lot of money too. And so I was incredibly depressed and also disillusioned with the industry, really
Mm.
disillusioned with the online stuff. And also I felt like I really needed to create with my hands and doing my own thing rather than doing other businesses, other companies, right?
Mhm.
And so I didn't do a lot with it. I just spoke with a few people and said, look, I just started this. The water is amazing. Do you want to try it? And I think Renee, I was 1 week in the business, and beautiful Renee, I spoke with her. She's like, yeah, I totally want to do that. I was like, okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
the funny thing is because as well I switched my mindset, okay? Because I went from, oh, this is too expensive, people are not going to be able to afford it, to this is amazing, it brings a lot of value. I'll just
Mhm.
talk with people. And that's all I did. I didn't try any convincing, I didn't try any spamming, I said, look, this is the water, I'm drinking it, it's made a difference, do you want to try it? And as I say, within 1 week I had my first my first
That's
person.
amazing. So
Same thing
you
with
got rid
another
of all
friend.
the other businesses? So you
Yeah,
got rid of everything else?
pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
There were a
Because they
couple
weren't
that I kept
lucrative,
because I
right?
still get paid. Yeah, no, a couple are still paying me, but it's pebbles. All right, it's peanuts.
Yeah.
After all the effort that I put into it, it's not that much. And as
Mhm.
I say, with very little no effort, within a month I had 2 people in the business. I made already money. I was like, oh, this is cool, and also the difference in payment, because
Right.
small ticket affiliate marketing, you need to do like a lot of sales to get maybe $100, $500, whatever.
Mhm.
But with
Yep.
this, put a very little effort, and I made way more money. Way more
And
money.
that's a
Don't talk
no-brainer,
about
right?
money. No. But if privately anyone wants to have a chat with me, I'm happy to be completely transparent. It's just something we cannot do on social. And yeah, as I said, I did not put much effort. I just talked with a few people here, a few people there, and in 2 years the
Amazing.
business has been building. It's been making money, and not just that. In my team, I only have soul aligned people, people that are
Yes.
self-reliable, that really wants to make a difference in the world, that wants to create a legacy, that are aware of what's going on in the world, but they're not wanting to be paralyzed by fear. And they're like,
Mm.
I can see all the shit that is happening. I actually want to come from a place of creation and counteract all of that rubbish. So let's focus together on energy on creating a movement and
Yes.
bringing people together and creating community and supporting each other. And for me, has been very traumatic because I have most of my life had issues with women.
Right.
Because
Okay.
of the competition. And within this, I've actually been able to create a group of women where we support each other, where we cheer each other when we're winning, truly from the heart. There is no jealousy, there is no competition. We're in this together. And
so
I
beautiful.
want you to be successful. Exactly. So this is the main difference with this business compared to anything else that I've been in. Yes,
Amazing.
you need to put the work and the effort in, but it's different.
You are a real testament about, and I've seen you do this in your business, is bringing all of these soul aligned souls together. And you just have this beautiful ability to attract to you. And I think what I loved about the business, and I think we share the same value, is being able to show up as ourselves and be who we are, and then have that ability to attract people to us rather than being in that traditional, sales mindset where we're, seeking out opportunities, but rather opportunities are coming to us. And I've seen that time and time again with your business. And this is why I wanted to just jump on and interview you, because you just inspire me so much on how you authentically show up as you. And I love that. And that's what drew me to you as a person. And that's kind of how we met, in this like beautiful whirlwind of, I don't know this lady, but I really want to know who she is, because you just have this vibrancy about you, and it's just been so wonderful to have you on. My final question for you.
You're making me tear up. God, I love you so much. Look, I'm serious, you're making me cry.
Oh, no, but you do. You have this beautiful ability to bring people together. And you're right. It's about, we're not in the business for everyone. You want the right people, and you've worked so hard in that, and you can see that your momentum is building, and you are just showing up as who you are, and you don't care about what anyone thinks. You are just doing you. And I really admire that about you, because that's something that I struggle with, right? So, you've given me the opportunity to see you and say, I want to be more like that. So, yeah, because now I'm getting teary.
Oh my God. But see, look, I'm serious. This is why I do this. And look, guys, it can be very, oh look, I'm crying. It can be a struggle to show up and be vulnerable, because so many haters out there. But I feel the authenticity is the way to go, because there is so much fakery in the world. There is so much lying and rubbish that I really feel we all need to come from the heart. And thank you, V, because this is part of the reason why I do this, is to give as well permission to other people to do the same. And that's why, you're gonna see me. Apart from the fact I'm at home most days, so I'm either in my pajamas or in my gardening clothes and whatever. And coming from an Italian and Croatian background where image is really important, it's one of the top things. That's another thing that I struggle with. But I really want to show to people that anyone can do it. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what clothing are you wearing, doesn't matter what your background is, like really. And it's about supporting each other. It's about really coming together and lifting each other up, and connecting. And again, God, thank you, I love you so much. I'm so grateful you're in my life.
Likewise, you brought so much joy to me. So my final question would be, what are you currently working on or learning?
All right. So because I get bored very easily, I need to have multiple things happening. At the moment as well, because my housemate also is in the business and he's just started, so he's he's still in the learning process. I'm actually redoing all of the launch with him and
Mm-hmm.
reabsorbing stuff, but I'm also focusing a lot on my social media, so I'm learning a lot of stuff, more tips on Facebook, on TikTok. And look, a lot of the stuff I'm just throwing myself in. Like I did yesterday, my first TikTok live, and that was intense. Like with people trying to jump on, and I couldn't understand what is going on. Like, was intense, man. Was not used to
It's a
that.
whole other beast.
Uh, it's a whole nother different thing. So,
Mm.
Preston Smile is what I'm listening to a lot. He really speaks to my soul.
What was
So
his
I
name?
constantly do
Preston
Preston Smiles. There are two
Smiles.
amazing yeah, I can send you the name. There are two amazing master classes in the inner work section
Mm-hmm.
in our TFE.
Yes.
And yeah, oh my god, is it just blows my mind. Is like it speaks to me. So I've been doing a bit of that. I'm always listening to books, depend or podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
depending as well. Sometimes Scott might put something. Water. At the moment, I'm actually looking to do a course with Veda Austin, and she. If you don't know her, you need to check her out. She's on Facebook as well, and she
Mm-hmm.
does studies on water. And she freezes. She puts images on the water. She freezes the water, and then things come up like it's mind blowing. So I'm actually
I
looking
love it.
to um, do a course with her and get certified and being a water expert as well. So that's another thing
That sounds cool.
that I'm doing.
Oh my God, I want to do that too. That sounds amazing.
I'll send you. I'll send you the link. There is a Zoom call happening soon. So to me, being in this business and knowing, um, having the knowledge that water is not just water, but it's divine consciousness. It carries memory.
Mm,
And having my experience of water healing me in so many ways, including a few weeks ago when I burned my foot, and putting
mm.
the intent as well in the water, that resonates with me and works as well with all the on the ground stuff that I'm doing to for retreats and ceremonies and stuff like that. Yeah, so all
Amazing.
it's in that way.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you and just get really deep into why you started, who you are, what you do, how you do it is just, like I said, so inspiring. So I just want to say thank you so much for being so vulnerable, being so open, allowing me to ask you a few questions because the intention for this is to really share it with other people that no matter, like you said, no matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is, if you are sitting by the sidelines watching, know that there is better ways of living and is more aligned ways to show up in the world and actually provide your gifts, and this could be an opportunity for you. So if someone's sitting on the fence, just finally, what would you say to them in a few short words on this business?
It's not just about the business and making money and having financial freedom or financial flexibility, whatever you want to call it, but it's this also gives you the opportunity to be free, learn to be free from within, to
Ooh.
have freedom of choices, to have
Mm,
freedom of choosing not just what time you wake up, where you're gonna holiday, when you're gonna holiday, who you're spending your time with, but really, as I say, it's 20% strategy and 80% inner work, and that makes a huge difference. So if you want to
mm,
live a life of freedom outward, you need to learn to be free within first. So this is not just a business; it's a transformational um, event. It's something that will completely transform your life on so many levels. And look, for me, I already live a life of freedom. Like as I say, I get to choose what time I get up, who I spend my time with, what I'm gonna do today. Every day is different for me. And
mm.
I want to share this gift with everyone else because the way people live within the system, that is not how we're supposed to be living. We're supposed to
No.
be to make connection, to grow together, and as I say, live a life of full freedom. in every
Mm.
possible way.
Yeah,
I'm
I
almost
love that.
finished, John.
Thank you so much
Hopefully
for
this was
jumping on.
helpful.
Yeah,
My
absolutely. Thank you
pleasure.
so much for your time. I love you so much, my soul sister. And yeah, we'll speak to you next time, and we will connect with you on socials if anyone's interested.
100%. 100%. Let's talk, and we can definitely guide in the right direction. Much love,
Beautiful.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.